This week on The Modified World, we bring you wood body jewelry basics. You know you want to find out more, so stick around. So welcome to The Modified World, the weekly web show about body modification, the people who do it, the people who get it, and why it matters. I'm your host, senior piercer at the world famous Pangea Piercing and the purveyor of all this internet madness, JC Potts. And this week we're going to be talking a little bit about the basics of wood body jewelry. A lot of people have been asking me for quite a while to go ahead and do a show about wood body jewelry and what people need to be looking for. So here's what I've got for you. So I'm doing this video not because I consider myself necessarily an expert on wood jewelry. I've had 18 years experience dealing with piercing, plus I rely on the research that Michael Sims originally did, and through my conversations with numerous well-known wood plug manufacturers. The first thing that we're going to need to talk about is material. Now, there are some types of wood that, maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't, are actually toxic. So naturally, of course, you don't want to wear those. Unfortunately, for our friends here in North America, most of the commonly available wood species that you're going to be able to find at like your local lumber yard are not going to be acceptable. Things like pine. Any soft wood, first off, no good. Pine, fir, poplar, redwood, those kind of things, obviously not going to work. But then even a lot of the North American hardwoods, walnut, oak, maple, things like this, they're not really actually good to make wood plugs out of. Typically the safe stuff that you will find, a lot of times comes from Africa or Asia. Although a lot of exotic hardwoods are totally safe, there's quite a few that we know for a fact are bad. Things like teak, Macassar ebony, all kinds of rosewoods, and the purple heart, also known as amaranth. These are all known no-nos, and you're really not usually ever going to run into them because I believe that most wood plug makers are going to be educated enough at this point not to be using stuff like that. That brings us to safe woods. There's a few commonly accepted known varieties of safe woods. Lignum vitae, Osage orange, ebony, both the black and striped variety, amboyna, olive wood, pink ivory, coconut shell and palm, zebra wood, bamboo, and to a lesser degree bloodwood. The reason I say to a lesser degree bloodwood is because, well, consider bloodwood like the cheap stainless steel of the exotic hardwood body jewelry world. Most people can wear it with no problem, but there is a few people out there that are going to experience sensitivity to it. Sometimes you'll see wood sold as the wrong species, like one of the common ones is pink ivory and bloodwood being confused for one another. So of course we're going to need to talk a little bit about design. You should avoid stuff with a harsh, sharp flare to it. If you look at this guy over here on the left, has a harsh, sharp flare, which doesn't look like it'd be all that fun to try to insert. Contrast that with this happy guy right here. His flare is a little more rounded, a little easier. But then of course, too, you can look beyond and see one of these guys who actually has not just a beautiful flare to it, but a much superior polish. Once again, this guy on the left, you can see spin marks and tool marks and rough spots on it. The one in the middle looks a little bit better. It's definitely no spin marks, definitely no tool marks. It's approaching a better sheen. But of course, the one over here on the right, whew, shines like glass, which is really kind of what you want to find, because you'll find that when you wear wood plugs, they're definitely grippier than steel, titanium, glass, gold, maybe any of the other materials that you might be used to. And as far as surface finish goes, well, you should be looking for something naturally that's nice and smooth. It shouldn't have any pits, checks, or cracks in the surface, especially the wearing surface. And proper wood body jewelry doesn't have any coatings on it. It'll only be finished with a light rubbing of a natural oil and maybe some carnauba wax, but you should never have any food grade coatings or polyurethane, shellac, lacquer, God forbid, nail polish. So if you've watched this far, I know you're curious about how to wear and take care of your wood plugs and take care of your ears while wearing wood plugs. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Well, as far as how to take care of your ears, well, first of all, a word of caution. You should never be stretching with wood plugs. If you have to stretch, use titanium or glass or gold or even stainless steel. But woods are really not appropriate to stretch with. If you notice any itchiness or redness or swelling or weepiness like a discharge or something like that, then definitely discontinue wear. Pop them out once a week, maybe twice a week. Rub your ears down with vitamin E, jojoba, emu oil, something like that. Give them a good massage. As far as taking care of the wood goes, well, like I said, once a week, pop them out, wipe the dead skin cells off of them. Don't let them get too funky. Of course, never wear them in the shower or swimming or in any body of water, because guess what? Water makes wood swell and crack. And if you're not going to be wearing them for long term, keep them out of direct sunlight. Keep them from extremes of hot and cold. And about once a month, take them out. Rub them down with your favorite oil, either vitamin E, jojoba, or emu oil. I'm not really picky about those. Now you may come across some plugs or hangers that are called something like tool wood or sabo, sono, or crocodile wood. Truth of the matter is, there really is no such thing as a sabo tree or a sono tree or a crocodile tree. They are common Indonesian hardwoods. They're, I've never heard anybody having a problem with them or anything like that. I do feel like it is important though to understand that there is a big difference though between woods that, like pink ivory, that we know what it is, versus sabo. The hell is sabo? And while I'm ranting on that topic, another thing is you'll probably find some plugs that have inlays in them. Inlays are completely cool. However, though, you'll also see some that are sandwiched together types of essentially like plywood, where it's glued together, has stripes of different stuff. Sometimes you'll see it dyed multicolors. Sometimes it'll just be raw exotic hardwoods that are stuck together. I can't say I agree with those. The glues that they use in that sandwiching procedure has formaldehyde in it. And even though I'm sure there's very, very tiny bits of it that actually touch your ear, it's still got some of that glue touching your ear. So naturally, we don't stock any of that, and I can't in good conscience recommend any of it. So, that was our show this week. I hope you learned something, or at least were moderately entertained. If you haven't subscribed yet, you ought to be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video and you show your support for legitimate professionals doing what they can to try to educate the public. We give away swag to engage subscribers. So leave me a comment down here in the section down below on this video, letting me know that you're paying attention. Tell me, what would you like to see next? Glass? Other organics? Possibly ear stretching? I don't know. Let me know. And of course, if you haven't checked it out yet, be sure to check out and subscribe to my second channel, wearhome.net. It's all DIY videos that I do myself. Shoot, edit, put them all up there with no kind of regard for legal ramifications or censorship at all. And of course, if you enjoy what we do and want to see us continue, then share this video. And don't just share this video, folks. Get your people to watch it. because this is important information that can help keep them safe. So be sure to put it up there on your Facebook, your Tumblr, your Twitter, your Google+, and induce your friends, followers, well-wishers, and hangers-on to go ahead and indulge in the entertainment and the education that is the modified world. And be sure to stop by next week, folks, because you know we'll have another episode of the modified world. Dun, dun, dun.